People don't invest in your credentials. They invest in the future they believe they'll have because of you. Imagine spending 25 years being exceptional at hard things, solving problems other people couldn't, managing a large business portfolio, being the rainmaker. And now, how do you position your high ticket offer as the solution people instantly trust before they ever ask, how much? How do you become the gold standard instead of just another option? That's exactly what we're talking about today. I'm Suzette Cotto, founder of Innovate Launch, and this is episode 15 of the Launchpad Pod. The difference between being expensive and being worth it. The Launchpad Pod is a curated learning experience and collaborative community for ambitious women leaving a corporate job that never really felt like them for a new chapter in entrepreneurship. Now is your time. Welcome. So, there was a time early on when spending $300 to attend a business conference felt like an extravagant investment. Don't laugh, but I was still cutting apart pairs of pantyhose with a run in one leg so I can salvage the other leg and pair it with the good one so I could have one good pair. If you've ever done that, you know exactly where I was financially. $300 was not discretionary income. It was a decision. A networking friend of mine who worked in public relations said, "Girl, you have to come to this conference. It's going to be great." I was still new to the Houston business community. I was trying to find my place in it, meet the right people, and learn from entrepreneurs who had already built successful businesses. This felt like one of those opportunities that could give me momentum. So I wrote the check. The conference was held in a beautiful downtown hotel. Corporate sponsors lined the ballroom. There was an energy in the room that made you feel like you were exactly where you were supposed to be. The lights dimmed, the music started, the keynote speaker walked onto the stage with all the confidence in the world. She looked polished, professional, successful. She began telling us her story, how she had taken over her family's struggling business, how she turned it around and sold it for millions, and how that success led her into coaching entrepreneurs. It was a nice story, but as the hours passed, something kept nagging at me. And over the next 2 days, we listened to presentations, participated in discussions, and heard more stories. By the end of the conference, I still couldn't answer one simple question. Who is she to me? She told me who she was. She told me what she had accomplished. She told me how successful she had become. I just didn't understand why I should care, right? I didn't doubt her success. I just couldn't see myself anywhere inside her story. It felt like I was a stranger to her. And she was saying to me, "Hey, I bought a winning lottery ticket. You should go buy one." I don't, right? And so at the end of the conference, we came back to the ballroom and everybody had to wait until everybody was seated. And there was a beautiful red envelope with a nice satin bow on it. And we were told not to open it until everybody had theirs. Finally, she smiled at us and gave us permission. So we're all excitedly opening our red envelopes. And inside was an invitation to join her exclusive coaching program, private coaching, exclusive access. The investment, $20,000. It felt like Christmas morning when I was a kid. I convinced myself there was going to be a new bike under the tree, and there wasn't. So I laughed, not because $20,000 was outrageous. I've invested more than that in my own education over the years. I laughed because nothing during those 2 days had prepared me to believe why this offer was worth $20,000. The result she expected was the exact opposite. She never connected her story to mine. She never helped me see what would be different in my life if I worked with her. She never made me feel like I belonged in the future she was describing. For 20 grand, I expected at least a foot massage, but looking back, I understand exactly what was missing. Everything was about her, her accomplishments, her journey, her success. And she assumed I would connect the dots. She assumed her outcome was the outcome I wanted for my life and my business. But how could she know? She didn't even take the time to add me to her invite list. Someone I barely knew invited me. But looking back, that's how it felt. I wasn't a prospective client. I was a warm body filling a seat so her film crew could get B roll. Yes, I signed the media release. So, one of the most valuable concepts I learned came from a funnel marketer named Russell Brunson. You might know him. He talks about what he calls the three core desires: health, wealth, and relationships. He didn't make that up, but it's something, they write about it in the college textbooks or whatever. But almost every buying decision we make can be traced back to one of those three things. So here's where I think entrepreneurs get stuck. They spend so much time explaining why they're qualified that they forget to show people what becomes possible because they exist. That's the difference. Your prospects don't buy you on paper. They're not buying your credentials on a resume. They buy the future they believe they'll experience because of you. And if you're trying to compete by offering the same thing as everyone else, you'll always be compared to everyone else. The businesses that become unforgettable don't create a better vision of the existing opportunity. They create a new opportunity altogether that fills a core human need. So, one thing I'm clear on: I'm not a marketing coach. I'm not a lifestyle coach. I'm not a guru. So I'm talking to a room that almost no one else takes seriously: women of a certain age. That phrase is getting a lot of attention right now because it's painfully real for midlife women who are literally removing 7 years from their resumes just to get past the hiring algorithms that vet the wheat from the shaft of ageism. Let that sink in. The message isn't that midlife women's experience has expired. The message is that they have hit some kind of patriarchal expiration date. And I reject that completely. I'm talking to women who have built careers, raised families, survived layoffs, led teams, solved impossible problems, and now they want to build a company that gives them a level competitive environment. And they're saying F you to corporate, and they're leveling up without it. And that's why Innovate Launch exists. I'm come with me to my morning routine. Here's something else you'll relate to. Every morning I watch Good Morning America. One of my favorite segments is Deals and Steals. I like to shop, okay? And I'm fascinated by Deals and Steals because they are selling another blanket, another coffee mug, another t-shirt, another pair of socks. Somehow, somebody has figured out how to convince millions of people that this pair of socks is different from every other pair of socks in the world. That's positioning. But it also reminds me how exhausting it must be to constantly compete in a commodity market. Eventually, another company comes along with softer socks, warmer blankets, and a prettier mug. And then everyone moves on to the new thing. Professional service entrepreneurs have an incredible advantage. We're not selling socks. We're not selling blankets. We're not selling commodities. We're selling transformation. Transformation is much harder to replicate because in the center of it is you. Here's someone else I'm going to talk about. He's the king of transformation. I've watched Tony Robbins since I was in my 20s. And one thing he's mastered, you rarely feel like he's selling you anything. He's transformational. And that's the key. It's what we all want, to be transformed. You're imagining yourself walking across hot coals, right? You're imagining yourself becoming someone different by not burning your feet because Tony tells you your brain says you won't burn your feet. And people do this hot coal walk. Now that's transformation. That sale happened long before the offer, and that's positioning. Where storytelling gets misunderstood is when you're telling your story so well that your audience starts remembering their own story. Whatever I shared, you remembered it. Not because it happened to me, but because it happened to you. I just triggered the memory for you, a memory that had a distinct impact on who you are, your lived experience. That's what great storytelling does. And that's where trust begins. Where we all want something else, our transformation story to happen. Your accomplishments are not the reason your prospects take your offer. Your accomplishments are what your mom brags about at a pickleball tournament with a martini in her hand, right? Your positioning rolls out the red carpet for your prospect, and they're thinking, wow. And the 20 grand for your offer, they're thinking, hey, we're going to get matching tattoos, me and her, right? So position yourself well, and you're no longer asking the market to notice you. The right people simply think, this is the one. That's the law of attraction, not persuasion. Your offer price is already doing the talking. So I think by now you understand that positioning is the key to selling and getting the investment you're worth. When you're figuring yours out, entrepreneurship no longer feels like a struggle. The hard part, the convincing, the chasing, the constant proving yourself starts to disappear. You get to focus on what brought you here in the first place, your why. And so you have me in your corner, helping make things female founders face like, how much am I worth? Not so freaking hard. Today's episode gave you a little more clarity. I'm really glad you and I connected here. Be sure to subscribe to the Launchpad Pod so you'll be notified every time another episode drops. And I'd love to invite you to join the Innovate Launch community, my free off social media community for accomplished women founders who are in build mode. Whether you're just getting started, refining your positioning, or scaling your business, you'll find a room full of women who understand the journey. We learn together, collaborate together, celebrate wins together, and create momentum exactly when it's needed most. Every Wednesday night, I host a live session where we dive deeper into the topics we talk about here on the podcast. We also have exclusive VIP content, learning opportunities, and conversations you won't find anywhere else. I'd love to welcome you to the room. I'm Suzette Cotto, founder of Innovate Launch. I'm a female founder who sees you, supports you, and wants you to be successful. I'll see you on the inside. Take care.